Hey spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome back to Let's Play Civilization 6 as Germany. This is the finale episode, or at least I'm predicting that it's the finale episode. You never know, I could still lose. Wink wink, nudge nudge, I'm definitely going to win. But I still could lose. But we're going to just go ahead and execute the final few turns of this game. We have to research the nuclear fusion here to get the Mars reactor, and then we have to research plastics, synthetic materials, composites, nanotechnology in order to get hydroponics. We have the two great scientists that will boost us along. The only person that could theoretically pull a win out here is Catherine the Medici, but I think I'm so far ahead of her in science. If you see here, she has researched 59 technologies. I have also researched 59, but I am making 911 science per turn, where she's making 450, right? Was it 450? Let me double check that. Yeah, 450.6. Now in Ulm, we finished a factory. Why don't you go ahead? I could build more spies, but I don't think I need more spies. I think we'll do campus research grants. I think I'm at the point now where essentially most of the executions and stuff like that I do in the game don't really super matter. I've basically, all of the stuff that we've done up until this point have already won the game for us, and now it's a matter of, you know, putting the final few pieces of Lego in the victory house. So Heidelberg is wrapping up here with its own campus research grants. Cologne is wrapping up with a bunch of different things. Now you want to make peace with me, and I forgot we were at war, and you'll just pay me. So yeah, that sounds like a good deal. Jesus. Like Rome has been pretty irrelevant. I think the map distribution has some issues. So you want to give me aluminum and a work of music. Sure, I'll take the music. I have a broadcast center. I have a broadcast center? I have a broadcast center. I just remember that. So let's have a look over here. We just finished another campus research project. Guess what we're going to do again? You guessed it. It's a campus research project. Well done. A can of Coca-Cola for everybody in the audience. For those of you who don't know, the can of Coca-Cola, by the way, is like I think the correct word is social meme, because everybody in Ireland, or at least everybody in Dublin, who went to primary school, I'd say, not everybody, but like in the area that I'm from, almost everybody went to the, there's like you go on like little tours of factories and stuff like that, and one of the factories you go to is the Coca-Cola factory, and the Coca-Cola factory is famous for, at the end of the tour of the factory, you do a quiz, and you win cans of Coca-Cola for answering the questions. Of course, I was a little know-it-all and, you know, shithead. And when my brothers went, I asked them what were the questions they asked. And so I knew all the answers, so I won all the cans of Coke. But of course, they had to take some off me because I was winning them all. And you can't just give like an 8-year-old kid like 20 cans of Coca-Cola. Oh, man. I still remember that. I was upset that they took my Coke away, but I felt I had won a victory by knowing all the answers. Let's go ahead and put a power plant into here. That was the kind of kid I was. I was a pain in the ass. But god damn it, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself in some ways for being a pain in the ass. Okay, let's do more campus research projects to wrap this up a little bit, and we're going to sorry. The whole point of that story is it's become a bit of a like meme, a social meme, not like an image meme, which is the correct Richard Dawkins version of the word meme, which is, I guess, I guess the current modern interpretation of meme is also correct. But the social meme is whenever somebody says, you know, something that you approve of or is correct, you say, give that man a can of Coke. Like if you ask a question, it's just a thing. I don't know why, but it's really funny. And we do it for some reason. Not everyone does it, but I'd say younger people, and I think people do it less now, but I still hear it very rarely when people are taking the piss. It's usually used when you're taking the piss out of someone. Like when they answered an obvious question, which was, I guess, were all of the questions when you went on the Coke tour.
When we look up at night and view
Okay, we just unlocked nuclear fusion, and Dortmund finished what it was doing at the same turn, so we can go ahead and launch the Mars reactor. And what I will do is I will wake up... Oh, I didn't mean to wake you up. I meant to wake up this guy, pop you in and out, and then I will use you. Boom, and then that'll finish the Mars reactor in a single turn. And then I'll get my great scientist in position as well. We'll choose production over here. We just got a campus research grants. Excellent. Let's go ahead and do that again, just to shave another few turns off the end game here. It's a matter of just doing it. Launch Mars reactor. Go ahead and do campus research grants. Just trying to squeeze out all that science that we can to try and get us just that little bit closer to the finish line. You need to continue to protect Dortmund. I mean, in theory, it doesn't matter. I didn't mean to protect the campus, but the campus should shield the spaceport. The spaceport in the campus button was blue, and I was just trying to click really quickly, so I misclicked. Go ahead and trade with Cologne. But yeah, I'm fairly certain that the AI doesn't try to pillage your spaceports, but at this point in the game, I'm not really interested in finding out whether or not that's true. So you want the Diary of Lady Murasaki? That is absolutely no. Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you mad, bro? Are you mad, bro? Looks like the Aztecs are killing Carthage, which I don't really care that much about. It's not really my concern. I mean, I'm mildly concerned because there'll be another Aztec city on my doorstep. Really, this city should be able to defend from this. But for some reason, the city isn't shooting, which is odd. Let's choose production here. We just got campus research grants. Well, guess what we're going to be doing again? This is kind of what I'm talking about when I criticize the game for its late game. Now, again, I did say I wouldn't criticize the game too much because there is an expansion coming out, and you know, I'm saving all my critical muscle for that. But still, the point remains. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I don't think I've ever encountered a sort of 4X grand strategy or whatever kind of game that has ever dealt with the problem, and like it may not even be a problem, of reaching a point where you've won the game, but there's still like multiple hours of gameplay left and mopping up. I don't think not everybody really finds mopping up fun, but the danger is when you're designing a game is some people actually do enjoy mopping up. So if you take up the mop up phase, you know, you're denying them their fun. But if you don't take up the mop-up phase, some people are going to get disengaged from your game, and by the time they win the game, they're just going to stop playing and maybe even just get completely bored and disillusioned with your game. So it's like a really difficult challenge that designers have to try and overcome. Let me tell you, I don't know what the correct answer is to that problem, but I do not envy any designer who has to go up against it. Alright, so we are 9 turns away from winning the game. That's pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied with how this game went. I feel like I played it really well. I feel like we made some really, really good decisions in the early game. Like we forward settled the Aztecs in Magdeburg, and we planted a couple of districts over here. That pretty much made it impossible for him to declare war on me and go against me. And I feel like we also did a really good job up around here, settling cities and killing Poland and stuff like that. And these cities, you know, they haven't been doing a huge amount for me, but they've netted me like 120 signs for, you know, however many turns. Although I think I did say, and I knew I would forget this because I literally, after I said it, I literally said that I would forget it, is that I was going to put all of my cities on production and science focused, but I never did it because I'm dumb and forgetful. I'll have to go around and just do it really quick. I probably might have shaved like a turn or two off the game if I had done that. But again, you know, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't really make a huge, you know, it's not going to impact the outcome of the game. Let's go ahead and focus on science and production. Then over here, we'll focus on science and production. I'll take you off food focus. Berlin's already focused on science production. I did it with a few of the cities, and I remembered for a few of them, but I didn't do it for all of them. I should have just ran around and did it. So we'll just do science and production, science and production, science and production. Those are the only two things that we really, really care about. Dortmund. Over here, science and production, no food. No food for you. No food for Silly City, okay? Okay. No food. Let's see here. Campus research grants have been done. again. Let's do more campus research grants, and then we will choose production over here. Guess what we're going to be doing? It's campus research grants. Yay! Go ahead and make me a research lab just so you have something to do for the rest of the game and stop bothering me. Go ahead and make a seaport for the same reason. I'm trying to be respectful with your guys' time. I mean, I know I'm really fun to be around and all that, and like I know that's why you guys watch me, and it's not at all. You guys don't watch me at all because I'm playing on Deity and stuff like that and winning the games. No, you watch me for my personality, and so I should drag out every episode. No, I'm joking. I'm just trying to. I feel like I owe, not owe. What's the word? I feel an obligation to not waste my audience's time. Right? I feel like oh man, I feel like so many YouTubers, like they make these like long just information sparse videos that are just like kind of like lazily presented opinions and stuff like that, and I feel like, I mean, I've done that a few times because I was experimenting and seeing with it, but I really didn't like it. And there are times to do that, and I think that's best done during a live stream. But I think if, like, I can't remember the name of the guy, but there's this one guy, and he does it for gaming, is that he stretches, like, a concept and a piece of information and, like, makes it into a 20-minute video when you could easily get like every single point out and all of his information out in, like, 4 to 5 minutes. And I feel like that is just so... just don't waste your audience's time, in my opinion. I don't like how that's become the norm. I feel like wasting... Because I don't like to have my time wasted. If I see a video like that, I just fucking scroll off it. I just get a pain in my ass. I'm like, just talk faster or say more. You know what I mean? Or say more with less is essentially the gist of what I'm trying to say there. I was actually... There was a really good thing I heard. It was... and it's so true when you think about it. But... the phrase was, I don't have time to write you a short letter, so I wrote you a long one instead. And it was really, I thought that was really clever. I don't remember who said it or where I heard it. I think it was like I was passing by a radio or something, and I just heard someone say it. And it's so true. It's very hard. It's easy to say something in a lot of words. It's really, really easy to say something with a lot of words, with a lot of big words, but it's really difficult to sort of condense an idea down into a sort of self-contained, well-packaged, succinct statement where you get all the information across without wasting the time of the other person. Whereas, I'm guilty of this in my videos. I'll like labor a point so intensively, and it's definitely something I deserve to be criticized on. I'll labor a point incredibly. I'll labor a point like over and over, and I'll keep hitting it, and I'll use really verbose language and stuff like that. And that's something I think I should be better at. So let's choose production here. God, I like these little in-between turns, these little in-between turn rants that we do. So campus research projects have been done. Guess what we're doing again? You betcha. It's campus research grants. Let's keep going here. Okay, head over to Nuremberg. I think I have a bunch of traders to give orders to. Berlin. Please send your trade route to Berlin. I think somebody pillaged a bunch of my trade routes. But again, it's the late game. We're almost done playing. I don't give a hoot and nickel. I don't give a boot and nickel. I remember that from Red Alert 2. That was like one of my favorite sayings. It was Red Alert 2 when he's in the little intro screen. Sorry, not the intro screen. It was like a cutscene. It's the opening of Red Alert 2, and it's like, you've just declared nuclear war. It's like some actor playing the president of the United States of America. And it was, of course, it was like, I think it was like the late 90s, early 2000s, around the time that those games were still relevant. Cough, cough, Command & Conquer was no longer relevant. And so, like, swearing wasn't really an established thing in games, I guess, because they were kind of, they're still seen as a thing for children, but in particular, like, children were the main demographic that were buying them at the time. Of course, those children have now grown up and are people like me. But the point was they couldn't put like proper swear words. Like, I mean, certain games had them, but generally speaking, they didn't. And one of the things is like, because like if you imagine the president talking to the guy who just started nuclear war, I don't think he would say, "I don't give a boot and nickel." I think he would say some really, really abrasive words in that conversation, president or not, when you've just declared or started nuclear war. So, campus research grants, okay. Choose artifacts. Ah, it's a Frederick Barbarossa artifact. But yeah, my point was that how times have changed. You're allowed to swear in games now a little bit. And it's much more common in games to like have swear words. I actually kind of like it when game companies make up their own swear words for their universe. So one of the best examples of this is for it's not actually a game, it's actually a book that I'm reading by Brandon Sanderson. Well, it's a series of books. It's called the Stormlight Archives, and all of the characters in the book, like the generic, like instead of saying damn, god damn it, or F you, F this, like the generic swear word is storms. And it's just, I just think it's called, like it helps sell you on the culture of the world. And I think more games, like, I think Blizzard do it where they have their own swear words and stuff too. So that's good. Agent is ready for promotion. Use the unit action button to select a special bonus. Choose production over here. Yep, still doing campus research projects just to keep my cities busy and try to shave those last couple turns off. Zoo completed. God, I wish there was a better way to do this. Is scrolling down. My pointer finger is getting like wrecked by scrolling down so much. Okay, so we do have 5 envoys. I will send them to Muscat. For what it's worth, just shave a few turns off this. I have 17,000 gold and nothing to do with it. Just go asleep at this point. We're 3 turns away from winning the game, right? 5 turns away. Yeah, but the point remains. We're really close to winning. So as I predicted a few episodes ago, I said around the turn 330 you would win the game. And we're not too far off that. About 10, 15 turns beyond that. Which is, you know, I think that's a pretty reasonable prediction. I think I made an earlier prediction that usually a game ends around turn 250, turn 275. For me, at least, that's when my games usually end. But this time, that was not the case. We're going to choose a new artifact. This will be a Catherine de' Medici artifact. We'll go into the next turn. And we'll see what we can do. I don't really have a reason to get these artifacts. I just did it because I could. And I feel like that's a good enough reason for me. Looks like she settled for uranium. That's so odd that I was looking there as that happened. That's like a weird coincidence. Because I was just thinking, you could settle here for uranium. And then she settled it. It was very strange. So there's the space race. I don't think we actually really care. I think at this point now it's, again, we're just a matter of can we survive. Let's go ahead and just get the Manhattan Project for fun. And you'll just build me a factory so that you stop bothering me. And you're going to go ahead and get me... I'm just going to start building like random crap, I think. Barbarians! Yeah, I like the Barbarian. The Barbarian artifact. Yeah, it's good. It's very good. It's very good. Let's keep these campus research projects churning. At this point, like the most arduous like part of the game is like the end turn screen. My God, just like constantly just watching this thing spin. Like, come on. Okay, Guillemar. So that's 4 gold for 30 turns. You want to buy my perfume? That's not nearly enough. Monsieur Saladin. Monsieur Saladman. Plus, I don't care because I've already won. It's a matter of 5 turns away. No, thank you. I have no interest in that. Thank you very, very much. Campus research grants, mechanized infantry. Campus research grants. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Jadwiga. I must protect the interests of Poland. Surrender quickly so this may end without the bloodshed. There you go. There's my really bad Polish accent. It's basically just a Russian accent, but again, drunker and more depressed. The Empress calls for your head. You will be drowned in your own blood. Don't care. Is she an Empress or a Queen? Because I know Jadwiga calls herself a king, which is, you know, it's a cool little interesting quirk of the character. It's like, I'm actually a king, you know. It's like, you know, defies your expectations, which is, you know, interesting. Let's go ahead and just jet fighter, yeah. And then we'll trade with Magdeburg. And we'll do this. We'll shoot here and here. We'll go into our next turn. So dies for gems. That seems like a reasonable deal. Goodbye. I'm running out of brain words, guys. Guys, I'm running out of brain words. You gotta... Oh, he just like squawked at me like an eagle. He doesn't even speak, so I can't even copy his accent. He definitely wouldn't be Mexican. Or, well, Spanish sounding. Because that would be... Because the Spanish came after the Aztecs, I'm pretty sure. The Aztecs. I don't know. I think it's like over here. Somewhere. I don't know. Is this Zapotec? I don't remember. Listen. I know a little bit about history, but like details are lost on me, okay? Sometimes I remember things really, really well. Sometimes I have no idea what I'm talking about. And this is one of those times. This is one of those times where I have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, let's choose production over here. We did just get a research lab. I'm going to stick you on campus research grants, not because it'll actually change the outcome of the game, but just because I won't have to click on that city again. So here it is. We are coming up onto the final turn of the game. 2 turns away from it, and we'll win. I feel pretty happy. As I said this before, I think. I feel pretty happy with how this game went out. I think we made, generally speaking, the correct and accurate sort of predictions about the flow of the game and what we needed to do in order to survive. If I had been forward settled a bit more by France over here, the game would have actually been, you know, a fair bit harder, because these guys have actually generated a hell of a lot of science and production and gold for me. So these 2 cities were really, really useful. These cities up here were less necessary, but I still think that they actually contributed a lot to me winning, in terms of they shaved when I say that, I don't mean they like made the outcome. I mean they saved me clicking the next turn button a few times. Operation Ivy, I think what I want you to do is just grab a trader for 1 turn, and then we can go ahead and finish up the game. I'm just going to click on whatever the first thing that I see is in all these cities, because we've already won, essentially, unless the AI somehow manages to pillage my my spaceport when I have a spy sitting on it. I would be impressed by that, actually, in all honesty. If the AI was capable of pulling back from this, I would be astounded. But yeah, at this point, my science is so high, and my science is so robust, and I've just done so much. Although Gilgamesh, theoretically, has all 3 of the techs. He just has none of the great people that he needs to actually build them. So, I mean, in theory, he could finish all of these next turn, but I think I've pillaged all of his spaceports, and the AI seemed a little bit troubled by repairing. Hello, Gilgamesh. Monsieur Muscle Man. And here it is, guys. The final turn. The moment you have been waiting for. The victory condition. At Nanotechnology, we're going to launch the Mars Hydroponics. Over here in Dortmund. Time to press the button. Launch Mars Hydroponics. We'll move the scientist. And we will press the button here. Here we go. That's it. We won. We did it. Excellent work. Thank you all very much. I appreciate every single one of you for believing in me and being able to win the game. So, a space race project which launches a hydroponics module into orbit for the Mars colony mission. Launching all 3 modules wins the science victory. I wonder, what happens if I just don't click X? Does the camera eventually stop, or does it keep moving? It's still moving. It looks like it's stopped, but I can't tell anymore because my eyes are going crazy. No, it looks like it's kind of drifting back a little bit. Alright, looks like nothing happens. I was wondering if the camera would just keep going. Okay, there we go. That wraps that up. Let's go ahead and have a little bit look at our ranking. We landed on Louis the 16th. Every time I fill a high office, I create 100 discontented men and an ingrate. Oh, that's really clever. Good job. Good job, Louis. So let's take now a little bit of a peek at some of these things. So if we look for ourselves, look at our culture per turn. We were pretty, we were pretty middle of the pack most of the game. And then, towards the end, we managed to pick it up a bit. If we could also check out our faith per turn. This was somewhere we absolutely did not make an effort to do anything with in terms of faith. I think I got most of my faith because I conquered like a Polish city or something. That's where I got most of this faith. And I think the other big chunk of it was I did triangular trade, which is, I think, +4 gold per trade route and +1 faith. So that's where I think a lot of this came from. I could be wrong. Our gold balance, at this point, this is like, oh yeah, I bought that great person, and then I just stopped caring. I just stopped caring at this point right here. Let's have a look at our science per turn. There you can see my science per turn again. When you look at the area of these graphs, Gilgamesh was still ahead in terms of technologies for most of the game, just because it's Deity, and I think Deity AI gets all of the Eurekas for free. But you can see their science like dipped there big time, and I'm not sure why, because they both like dipped one after another, which is really odd. Maybe they were trying to go for a great person or something. And then right towards the end, I ramped up, and then I stopped caring again. Let's have a look at the old score per turn. You can see I started off kind of bottom of the pack, and then I slowly started to climb. And then this was the point where I was unstoppable. I have no idea what this was. I think it was the war with Poland, actually, that basically shut them down and launched me into the stratosphere. Let's have a look at total districts constructed. Yeah, look at that. Even actually early, I was actually the top district builder early into the game, but I still wasn't top science until somewhere around here, which is really interesting to see. If we look at total buildings built, now that's an interesting one, because I built a lot of districts early, but I did not build a lot of buildings early. You can see my curve was very much a sort of passive sort of thing, and then a ramp, like just a goddamn ramp here as I started building buildings like crazy. Total great people earned. I feel like I didn't actually feel like I earned that many great people, and it actually shows because Peter made so many. Total number of combats. I expect I'm pretty low on this list, and there it is. Yeah, I'm fairly low. I expected other people to be in a lot more wars than me. I just mostly played defensively, which is kind of the way I like to play. I like to play defensively. I like to make sure, well, not make sure, but I like to try and just win without going to war, because I think war is it's okay and it's good and you can do a lot with it, but I think it's less interesting to me. War is just less interesting to me as a player. But I might do a war game for my next game. We'll see. We'll see exactly what we do. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. I hope you guys enjoyed this series, rather, is what I meant to say. And that I hope to see you in the next one. So please remember to subscribe if you want to see more of these videos. Make sure you leave a like if you want to say you liked this. And remember to leave a comment. If you want to give me your feedback, tell me what you might want to see in the next series, or perhaps even a future series. Do you want to see me do something different? Do you want to have a new idea, maybe a restriction or something like that? Go ahead and drop me an idea. Other than that, though, I want to say once and for all for this series, I love you all very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.